Hello, welcome to BGP, and I am Adrian. We're going to have a topic today that probably all of us will benefit from. Those with adult children, those with little kids may find this topic very helpful and useful. A long time ago, we had a topic called "Who Taught You How to Date?" And one of the things I think that we skip over often is if you are a parent with children, is when is it a good time to introduce your mate to your children? So I'll start with you, Nisha. When do you think it's appropriate? At what age or at what number of dates do you think it's appropriate for you to introduce your new lover boy to your babies?
He said lover
So,
boy.
so I'm an eyeball. So, um, when I became a mom, a single mom at that, I made the conscious decision not to date for a while, and so I didn't start dating again until she was 12.
Mm.
And when I started dating and whatnot, I did not introduce them to her because I just didn't want there to ever be a time where she said, "You chose a man over me," or "You had multiple men in and out the house. I saw all these men and, you were never there." I just didn't want that kind of life for her. So I kept it with a healthy balance of focusing on her and making sure she had everything before I started entering the dating world. As far as now that she's older, she sees me go on dates and whatnot, but and she knows I talk to someone, and I would say maybe 3 months in was when she got to actually have a conversation. Um, 3 months in, but it took time and me being comfortable with that idea, But I'm still like extremely protective, extremely protective of who's allowed to be around her. So yeah, for me, I would say it was like 3 months in before she was actually able to have a conversation.
And ironically, the website that I went on and got a lot of information from says 6 to 12 months.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what they suggest.
Makes sense.
What do you think about that, Mona? When's the best time for you to introduce somebody?
First, I think that a woman, or it could be a man, but we're talking about women, um, should establish what the agenda is going to be for this particular man. Everybody is not dating to raise a family or have a husband. Some women just want to go on a dinner date. They might want to go on a shopping spree. They might want, to go get flued out or something. So, what is your agenda? Would help you assess if they should ever meet your children. I don't think if the relationship is going to be a good time and not a long time, that you should never introduce your children to any of the men that you are intimate with. Nisha has a daughter. I have a son. I didn't let men come to my house, because here's the thing that we don't think about as women. A lot of times, our children never see us feminine, never see us dressed up, dolled up, until a man is coming over. Whether he's coming over to pick us up or coming over to
Spend time.
spend the night.
I was just going to say that, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the kids see, oh, mama got her hair out the do-rag. Mama don't have her pajamas on. Mama didn't put some makeup on. Mama, the house smell good. We're going to have a good meal tonight because Mr. coming over. And that's very dangerous for both boys and girls to see, because now they're kind of seeing, well, this is what happens when adults interact with one another. And then if that man is spending the night, they hear that slow jam music. and they got to be put to bed early. And when
Mhm.
they wake up next morning, for the most part, Mister ain't there.
Right.
And sometimes Mister don't never come back. And then maybe sometime Mister come for a little while and Mister don't come back. And then Mama, she happy for a couple of days, and then
She
we eat
miserable.
noodles.
Right.
You know, she cussing us out. We
She
don't punish her and
miserable.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's very dangerous for you to have men coming around. And little boys are protective. You know, my son,
Very.
I was in the hair care industry. He'd be like, "What you want with my mama? You want a haircut?"
Okay.
That's the only reason why he thought that you should be interacting
Mhm.
with me. So yeah, you have to be very careful. Although I didn't read what you said, I think 6 months to a year
Mhm.
is
It
pretty
sounds
good
feasible.
because
Yeah.
you know everybody starts off meeting each other's representatives, and then down the line somewhere you get to figuring out who this person really is. And there used to be a time when men didn't touch on babies,
But they doing it
whether
now.
they are males or females.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
It used to be a time when mothers wouldn't allow men to touch on babies,
Exactly.
male or female. So we're in critical times, and yeah, no, dude.
Yeah.
And,
I think it's. Go ahead.
let me.
I'm
I'm sorry. What you want to meet my kids for anyway?
Right.
That should be a question that should be asked. You know, do you have children? Yes. How many? A son. Can I meet him for what? Because I don't know if you're gonna be here long. And then for the girls like Nisha's daughter, we sure got a lot of uncles around here. This is Uncle, you know.
Right. Right.
So I think that's something we don't think about in the beginning, but we need to start thinking about
Yeah.
that.
So do you think there's like a little pre-conversation you should have with them if and I'm saying only once you feel like you are in love and you may take it to the next step, do you think there should be a conversation prior to you introducing him to
A conversation with whom, your child
to
or
your
the
child?
Oh,
To
you
let
should
them know.
So
Mhm.
again, I'll speak on me. I'm very upfront with my daughter
Mhm.
now that she's older, because again, I want her to kind of get an idea of what it's like to date
Mhm.
healthy,
Mhm.
you know, and get to know someone of the opposite sex, because not all men are bad, not all men are, you know, whatever. But I think when you are in the position of entering a relationship with someone, then yes, you should have that conversation with your kid up front, kid or children or child up front of the direction that you guys are heading, and explore having a healthy relationship with that person that's being added to the equation. Because for a lot of parents, you know, kids are just used to just the mom or, you know, the parent that's in the picture. They're just used to that person just being around. So now you're introducing somebody new to the equation, and you got to introduce or explain that to them. A lot of parents I know didn't do that in the past. They just did their own thing. And then all of a sudden the next day they like, this is my new dude now. And he coming over, and you know, it's some changes around here. I need you to wear these clothes, or I need you to, you know, like, no, I don't think that's healthy. I think you should have those conversations with your kids or child on what you're exploring, the direction you see it heading, and get their idea of what you think about that. What you think, how you feel about that. Are you comfortable with that? Yes, no, why, maybe, and explore it instead of just kind of leaving them out the equation, unless they're grown. Now, when they're grown, that's a whole different story.
Whole different story right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think that preparation is necessary right before you get ready to introduce them? And what are you going to share with your child?
First of all, I'm going to say this: make sure you're in a relationship with the man before you include your children in a relationship. Second of all, I think it's very important for you to show your children how you interact with people of the opposite sex outside. You know, hello, Mr. Johnson, or this is Mr. Johnson, or this is, you know, show them that side first. I'm not going to, it's not my son's decision to tell me what he think about anything. He's a child, you know, so I'm not necessarily trying to get his approval for a man that I'm involved with, because that man may not currently have my approval for this going a certain way. When it comes time for I mean, even like me coming down here today, my son is like, "Where you going?"
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
what time you coming back? You
Mm-hmm.
coming back tonight? You're coming back before and I be like, wait a minute, dude, I
Okay.
was a parent here, so
Mm.
yeah, I think that if you're gonna have company, I would never say my new boyfriend is coming over, my new man is coming over. I'm gonna have company today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to make sure that that company knocks on the door,
Mm-hmm.
and we do the appropriate things that women are supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not be like, who is it? You know?
Yeah. Right.
Especially if you have a daughter to show you how you answer the door when a
Yeah.
man comes in, and take it from there.
Right. And I think that initial meeting should be something brief. It doesn't have to be no long drawn out going with you on a date or an outing or the museum. In my opinion, I think it's something that should happen gradually. And is it important their opinion? Is their opinion important to you? What they think about this new person? And do you take that into consideration? If you feel like you know enough about them, but your daughter, who may be 7 or 8 or even 10, tells you, I don't like him, something about him or whatever, is that something that is concerning to you?
I think that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think that initially, none of your kids like anybody that you bring over because
True.
they're about
Unless
to get
they
the
bring in
attention.
gifts.
Yeah, they're about to get the attention that they're used to having, especially when you got only children.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't like him. I don't
Yes.
like her. Like,
Jealous.
they don't like your
Jealous.
girlfriends or
Yeah.
your boyfriends because why you going out all the time?
Right.
And you supposed to be in here baking me cookies and watching Ninja Turtle with me, and
Right.
now you going out with these people. So initially, they're not gonna like anybody.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question?
Do you think if one of your kids said that they didn't like the person that you were dating,
then I need to know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take into account all of my child's feelings.
Right.
You know, wrong, right, retarded or not, you know, out the blue or not, you know, unorthodox or not, you know. I'm like,
Jesus.
what is this?
Riri.
Right. So, I want to hear. I want to hear what you see
Right.
because they're intuitive too, you know.
Yeah.
We might be so digmatized, you know, that we can't see nothing. So
True
yeah,
that.
I would take it into account and see what they
Mhm.
see. Yeah.
What I learned when I would used to give a parenting class, and in the parenting class, one of the first assignments that they had was to go on Megan's Law.
Mm.
If you're familiar with that
Mhm,
website,
mhm.
Megan's Law, you can put your zip code in there, and it's going to tell you all the sexual offenders that are in your area,
Registered, yep.
registered sex offenders
Mhm.
that are in your area. That's not to say that every sex offender is on there,
Correct.
but I think it is a tool that we have access to now that is very useful. Is that something that you would look into?
Background checks are needed for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you would too, Mo?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See,
I
I
think.
I am Megan's Law. I'll be asking questions.
Okay. Me too.
I run you off by asking too many questions. I want to know where your mama came from, your daddy, how far. Yeah, I want to know it also. Yeah,
And that's important.
Mhm.
It really is. I think we now let's flip the script just a little bit. Adult children.
Mhm.
Is it necessary that you share with them about who you're dating? Or you just do whatever you want to do at that point because they're adults? Like I have adult kids. I have a 39-year-old.
You answer. What did you say?
Okay, I have a 39-year-old and I have a 37-year-old.
Is it necessary?
I think at some point it is.
Okay.
Once you get to, like you said, and just like with the little kids, once you get to the point where if it's a serious relationship, yeah, you could go ahead and introduce them. My kids are super overprotective. And like you said, anybody that come around, they don't like. Or they especially Alliance, she get on there, she's looking up everything. So I think it is necessary, but I don't think that it's at the same level where you have to be sharing everything with them. It's a little different. You think? Do you share everything with your son about the people that you're dating?
No. I'll be getting dressed and he'd be like, where are you going? And I don't even answer. Mind your business. I'll let you know when I need you in my business. I'm grown. Yeah.
Right.
And this ain't gonna be your new daddy or none of that shit. So no, I don't even know if I like the food yet enough to introduce you. Yeah. I don't allow men to come to my house or any of that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
We
So
almost out of time.
Oh, okay. Well, what's your final thoughts on a topic like this about introducing your children to your mate?
Take your kids into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them in mind. Because I don't think it's healthy to just like introduce them to every single person, because they will remember that and think that when they get older that that's how it's supposed to be, that you're supposed to be with every single person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, teach them the importance of healthy dating, the importance of interacting with the opposite sex in a healthy way, and understand that researching and doing background checks is normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal now to keep your kids safe and necessary for both you and the children involved. Yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Final thought is, we live in an environment now where people are harming babies. They don't respect women or children for the most part. Women are getting in relationships with people that they don't know their backgrounds, and just be careful. Be mindful of who you're dating, first of all, and then who you're introducing to your children. That's my final thought.
My final thoughts are that, much like what Mona said, we live in a different time. People are very disrespectful when it comes to children. A lot of perverts, a lot of pedophiles. And I think utilizing
minor attracted people.
Yeah.
The new term.
Oh my God. Minor attractive people. Yeah. It's I think because I've sat at tables with many women that have experienced sexual assault, and it's sad that even some mothers knowingly know that their boyfriend or this person that they're dating has either hit on their child or tried to touch their child, and they say absolutely nothing. I think it's very important today that we look at the background of the people we're bringing around our children. And I have to say this, we got to look at the family members that we bring our children around to as well, because statistics say that it's more family members that are molesting children than it is a stranger. So just be mindful of that out there. You don't want to, I don't want to make people nervous or scared, but it's very necessary now to really dive deep into the person that you're dating before you bring them around your children. It's so important. And if any of them feel uncomfortable, you need to look at that and find out why. So if nothing further, this is BGP. Please subscribe, like, share, leave us some comments on some topics that you might want to hear us talk about here. If nothing further, thank you, BGP. We out.
Bye.